Colonna's Shipyard and Virginia Natural Gas are going head-to-head.
The fight is over a proposed pipeline. Part of the South Side connector will be built under the shipyard.
Shipyard executives call the project a ticking time bomb. Reporter Evan Watson explains the arguments in this battle.
Shipyard President and CEO Tom Godfrey says this pipeline is dangerous for the entire area, and he wants safety concerns addressed. But Virginia Natural Gas says it's already taking those precautions.
Colonna Shipyard has been active for more than 140 years. But current owner Bill Colonna says now he's concerned about its future.
It's just plain fundamentally wrong. It's unsafe. It should have never been approved in the first place, and it's wrong.
The plan to build a stretch of the South Side Connector natural gas pipeline under both the Elizabeth River and Shipyard property has been confirmed by the Norfolk Circuit Court. Construction is scheduled, but Shipyard President Tom Godfrey is worried.
You did not have the opportunity to step in and say, my concern is my safety, my family, and how I live my life.
Showing video of other natural gas explosions, Godfrey is convinced you can't prevent an accident from happening.
You don't do this where we've got some of the most vital assets for the Navy and the Department of Defense. You don't do it.
He wants the high pressure of a future pipeline decreased, additional barriers around the pipeline, and ideally for the company to move it away for safety reasons. But Virginia Natural Gas says it's already exceeding safety requirements and that Godfrey's claims of danger are false and damaging to its reputation.
This pipeline is being buried at a depth of 80 feet at the Colonna Shipyard, which is 20 times more than federal law requires. Secondly, federal code also sets a specified strength of steel for the pipe. We're exceeding federal code on the strength of the pipe steel.
With no other changes, construction could begin here at the shipyard soon. Evan Watson reporting for 13 News Now.